our first lady.
Which one did you share? Is it
the one from the morning session? The morning session and the professor and the money one.
And yes, and the evening?
Yeah, in the
but
evening.
The evening was in 2 parts.
Yeah, the second part I didn't really share it more.
Okay.
Really paying attention. Because I came to say that we are rich and not wealthy. Because I see in my country that most of the companies that are there are not Namibian made. They are all from maybe South Africa, which are from the UK or from Britain or from the US. So if our people could understand that we could make it, as much as we don't have, our country is dry, but we have so many resources. If we could start refining these resources in the country and keep them, maybe we could make our people better. Maybe we could bring up people that could say, yes, if I bring my service, if the next person brings his service, we can all make Namibia great once again. But it's going to be a long way long, because people really have to understand first what they have and what we have in Namibia. So that was one of the part of the 2.4 million who thought we have to depend on somebody else. But I attended the first one in January, and it gave me an insight of something else. And I started my own organization, and thank God I'm trying to make something.
Yeah, or back at home?
I started back home, but I'm also integrating it into Ukraine. I'm more into child development. I work from the age of 8 to the age of 20. So, because I think my generation is already doomed. If we could bring up the young ones in becoming something else and change their mindset of thinking, maybe in the next generation could achieve something better than we have achieved.
Wow. So let me ask you another question. How come you are able to dwell on the topic and answer my question when these are my best representatives of my country? They are not even moving close.
Yesterday, I didn't say anything yesterday because I was speechless. I was quiet the whole time because my thoughts were going in and out of how much we are in a closet and how much we're in a box. And I'm really thankful for the opportunity.
So you are looking forward. For you are. I think you are. What you are trying to say is that the message ministered to you because it was new, so you were eagerly anticipating it, I guess, and so you valued it. So the value you put on it was more than the normal, maybe people will, or maybe normal message, because it's like you had looked forward. You are looking forward for such an answer, or for a similar solution. So when you now saw it coming, you knew this is what you are looking for. So I think sometimes our disposition could determine how much retention we have. And thank you. That was very encouraging. Let's try you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Stanley. I think from yesterday, what I got and how I can apply to a country like Nigeria is, first of all, I would like to start from how Pastor Sunday told us what it means to be truly wealthy and to be truly
You have to
rich.
speak louder because then
To be truly wealthy and to be truly rich. He said that for one to be truly wealthy, that person must have the understanding of where wealth comes from, and not just only the understanding, but the ability to convert wealth into money, into riches. So I think most things that we see in Nigeria are people pursuing money, and we know that money flies. Do you understand? So people don't pursue wealth. They pursue not. They don't seek for the source. They seek for a resource. And the problem with that is that if you seek from the source does not dry up. Because, for instance, if your source of money is your passion for something, as long as the passion is there, it's a God-given gift. So when your passion is the things that create money for you, the passion is within. It cannot be touched.
The passion, therefore, is the true wealth.
Yeah.
But Nigeria, a lot of Nigerians already have passion. A lot of Nigerians already have all those 30 wealth sources that we mentioned yesterday. That abounds everywhere. And the paradox of it is that our people are still saying there is no money. That's what I was calling my Nigerian people to talk about. But you are not connecting very well, and that's a challenge. You must always be able to relate what you hear to solutions on ground. Please go ahead.
So what I think should be the solution of this problem is, first of all, to create an awareness, because before yesterday I didn't know this. So now that I know it, I know true wealth or true riches come from understanding where the source comes from and the ability to convert this source into actual riches. So my solution to this problem is, first of all, to create an awareness to our Nigerian brothers that true riches is not going to seek the resource, because eventually the resource dries up. There are many people that probably are collecting salary of a million, yes, of a million naira, and probably when their boss dies, or maybe when the company...
No, they fire them now.
Yeah, or they fire them. Or even when they retire, they just end up being poor at the end of the day. So now, but there are people that cannot be poor all their life. Why? Because they don't depend on the resource. They have a source within that they use that source to convert and make money all the days of their life. So my message to my Nigerian brothers probably that are watching this is, you have something inside of you that is capable to give you a long-lasting wealth. So you have to find that, understand where the source comes from, and convert that source, convert that wealth to actual riches, and you never be poor all your life.
Yes, okay.
Good morning, everybody. Pastor Obi from Harco. To add to the talk about the Nigerian situation, unfortunately, an average Nigerian doesn't talk or doesn't think about getting to the source of the wealth, including the government. That is why oil today...
Including the government?
Yes, I have to say it. Sorry. Oil today, from the top, and it goes down. Even the oil that's supposed to be wealth has been turned into riches in Nigeria now. That is why the government doesn't invest in the human capital that Nigeria has. So, and the people are also guilty of that. The people rather go to churches to pray, have all night for about 2 weeks, fast for like 2 months, don't go to work, don't produce, don't think, don't use their own resources that they have, their own wealth. They rather go to pray so that God will give them quick wealth, you know. Again, not connecting to the source. People will pray that all of a sudden an uncle will call you that you've gotten his will or something like that. You know, just like Pastor said yesterday, you pay attention to people who won lotteries. It's the same thing. People want to make it quick. They go to the computer to cheat people and all of that. People don't go to the source. Now, talking about human capacity, human capital in Nigeria, for example, again, talking about the government. The government doesn't see that the people are the wealth. People who are from Nigeria, many of you are from Nigeria here. Look at a town called Aba. Have you heard about Aba?
There's a girl from there.
I'm from just 20 kilometers from Aba. So, the people have the passion, they have the skills, they have the intelligence, they have the willpower, they have everything. They produce, but nobody pays attention to them. So, a country like Japan is rich today. Why? Because the people are there. They are producing. They are investing in the people. They don't even have wealth. They don't even have natural resources. But they've invested in the people. So it is lacking in our country. The government is guilty of this. The people are equally guilty of this. So it needs a new generation.
Amen.
Like Sister Memory said, our generation is not doomed yet. As long as you can make an impact, you might not be the one doing it, or you might train the next people. You might start that movement. So that's what it's all about. So that's why I'm happy all of you are here today. And as you leave here, let me quickly say that don't go back and still become the biomass. Don't become matter. Don't still remain being a matter. You know, you occupy space and you breathe and you have weight. No, go out there and be an engine already. Whether it's in your church, in your hostel, among your friends, everywhere you are, let people see that change. You are not here by mistake. And don't leave here not being changed. Okay? I've been through this process many times. That's why I look at you, I'm smiling. Like Pastor Joshua said yesterday, this is ice cream HMT. It's ice cream HMT, but I still believe that people will get something from this. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah, true?
Yes, sir.
Morning.
Morning, everyone. I just wanted to just add on to what Sister Memory had said about the government. I was reading Pastor's book, and he quoted John F. Kennedy, and he said, Americans, it is not what your country can do for you, it is what you can do for your country. So most of the people, they say, the government has done this, that the government is not supporting us.
You've always got to relate what you are saying to yesterday's message.
Oh, you want yesterday's one? Okay.
Not as well. That's exactly the only question I've asked so far. I'm
Okay.
talking of last night's message.
Last night's message. Okay, just a second.
Good morning, Pastor. Good morning, guys. My name is Emilia. Though Memory had said some of the things about my nation, Namibia, we are really put our minds are really transformed into a set of slavery and dependency, and the government, I think the government itself is just comfortable with it and happy with it. Let me tell you, for example, you here, you have not seen like a Namibian in most of the things that you organize. How many Namibians have you seen in your groups? Apart mostly from him. I myself, I don't attend because I'm not interested. Because I know as I finish, my job is secured. But as of yesterday's topic, there are so many things like Namibian can do. If you go to Namibia now, there are a lot of people with degrees, but they are in the street striking. Striking, protesting.
Striking.
Protesting for the government to give them jobs. These are people that have studied things like engineering. Engineering, if our university...
How come your own job is secured if their own is not?
Yeah, it's because of I think it's because, like medicine is like needed everywhere, but because of what we lack.
What they studied, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Things like engineering, job availability is very few.
Okay.
So if like the education system of Namibia can be changed and topics like this can be introduced into it for people to develop, to have an understanding on what to study and not just depend on the government financial provision liability, something can be done to Namibia.
Brilliant. That's a very good idea I just brought out. That this kind of teachings of discovering wealth, rather than chasing all about riches and money, it should be introduced into the school systems, into the curricula, so that everybody in the school will know already that they never need to look for money because they're already rich, they're already having wealth. They should rather focus on converting the wealth into riches, rather than looking for jobs or looking for riches. So this particular series of teaching ties right into the teaching on why you should never look for a job, or why it's a blessing for you to lose your job. I don't know if some of you listen to that, but there is a series like that on my Facebook and on my YouTube. So this is like a continuation of that you don't really need to depend on jobs, look for job, or look for money everywhere. that if you could open the eyes of the people early enough, that's a good idea about the school system.
Another thing, I think, adding to just lack of understanding, I was just like thinking about it and meditating. You can be a nurse, finish school, and not get a job, and as long as you have an understanding of what you studied, nursing, you already know what you do. You can come out. But the thing that as you enter university, you are already thinking about money. You are not thinking about what are my purpose? What am I called to do in this field of study?
You see, that's another very important aspect you just mentioned there right now, that we should teach our people and shift their focus, because right now the focus of young people and everybody in the society is that you need money to survive. Instead of money, we should shift the focus from money to purpose. If we could make people to know that purpose is the thing they are created for, and it's the thing that will bring money out for them, you know, it will really, you know, help resolve a lot of the challenges we're having. Beautiful stuff, beautiful.
You see a person studying catering, home economics and hotel management. The person knows how to cook, but is just at home applying one application after another to find a job, while the person doesn't even manage to buy soap. Cooking, you can cook anywhere. I can go in my own kitchen and cook and go in the street at my door, at my gate and sell, and people that are passing up by can get. But Namibians, we just want the government must do something. It's actually the statement that goes on. The government must do something.
Nigeria too, everybody is thinking government must do something.
I know somebody maybe thought I was joking when I said somebody's kettle.
Not because the difference is that in Nigeria, people are not saying government must do something so that I can eat. But when they see the roads, when they see the hospitals and stuff like that, they say government must do something. But when it comes to they personally, everybody has given up on government being the one to provide the immediate needs for you. So everybody goes, this thing you're describing, everybody goes out, a graduate is trying to learn how to sew also. That's what's in Nigeria, that's how it is now.
It's really, really, really sad. Namibia has an open space, a lot of space, and just hearing that, like Dubai, it's okay. The land is like Dubai, but where is Dubai? How does Dubai look? But we give ourselves an excuse that because of the desert condition, we can produce something out of it. But Dubai did it, and most of their percentage is not even Christian. They have no access to the knowledge and the things of God, principles, the principles of life. We have it. Namibia has a high percentage of Christianity, though it's not like Nigeria. But sorry for that statement. Yeah, like Christianity. I'm talking about Christianity now. But because of that slavery mentality that we are put in, and we are comfortable, and the government is also comfortable with it. People don't know Namibia anyway.
Thank you so much. By the way, I think you have a new pair of specs. Personal question. Personal discussion.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. I will say the same thing, but also in a different tone. Okay. Not that I'm defending the government, but one thing that I've noticed.
So it's criminal to defend the government, right?
No, I'm just. It is not criminal. It is not criminal, but then, okay, nonetheless. Most of our leaders are basically Soviet trained.
That's in Namibia.
In Namibia, and the thing with the Namibian government is that, she said that Namibians, or they seem to ask for the government to provide for personal needs, which is basically what the government actually does.
From the many African countries that we have, and all the in Ukraine, I've seen that most of the Namibians, almost 80%, are either on loan or scholarship from the government. And basically, not just in Ukraine, but in places like Russia, China, and other places in the world. So the Namibian government has actually invested in the education of the people. The irony is that when these people go back, is that instead of trying to see the wealth that they have accumulated in knowledge and start creating industry, they try and squeeze themselves into the bottleneck industries that are actually there. They compete for the small spaces of the industry that they left, instead of going to create new industries with the new wealth that they have acquired from abroad, and to apply them, they go back and try and get the little that is there and fight the old people out of those places, and even fight the new younger ones that are coming up. So, and the other thing is that natural resources. We have natural resources, but the issue is that we have limited ourselves to the ways of old, in that we still depend on the rain. We don't. For example, I come from a people who of cattle herders, and what my people do is that they go to the capital, acquire as much money as possible, buy as many cattle as possible, and then leave the city, go back into farming. Now the issue is that my people see, if you I can look at a truck carrying cows and actually estimate how much money that truck is carrying just by calculating or counting how many cattle there are. You can see a truck and you say that's $100,000 Namibian dollars, and it will be, yeah. So someone will see meat. I will see about $1,000 in a cow. So that is the mentality we have. But the issue is that instead of seeing these cows and converting them into the wealth, you find old men. He can't feed his family, but he has 250 cattle. His son is still at the village with him. Instead of sending his son to education, to get an education, he would rather say, son, sit down here, this is our wealth. Instead of selling these cows to actually improve the lives to make productivity better, he doesn't sell the cows. Instead, he will leave the cows at the village, go to the city, go and walk, find a job, and then earn money to come and take care of these cows. If this money is finished, he'll go back and walk and come and take care of these cows. So the cows will be multiplying. He will start with 100, and then you'll have 500. But he doesn't sell one, and he won't eat it. Because now the thing is, so the cows actually like it's an object of worship. Like you said, money. One of our points is that people have enthroned money. So people have enthroned the cow because they see the cow as the money. So, and it's also status. So now instead of using this, like there's a difference between. My father would tell me that he has seen the difference between how white farmers do. A white farmer can have 50 cows on his farm, 50 cows on his farm, and then he will know that of these 50 cows, next year I will have about 25 cows. I will sell these cows and then get more cows, or use this money to improve these ones. Sell out or breed out the old ones, bring in the new, and so on. And then this you have money coming in, money going out. Whereas my people would rather take these 50 cows, put them at the village, go to the city, go and earn $1,000 to come and add one more cow to these 50. Instead of taking 2 cows to improve on these ones, they would rather keep this one because this is the status of wealth that they have. And so they have enthroned. So now we need, as Namibians, we need to see the other sources or the other forms of wealth we have. We have land, we have not just land, and there's another issue. There's a movement in which we have young educated people who are stuck in the capital, who don't want to move, and they go and rally in front of the government offices and say, we want land. It's not what you fought for. The land belongs to us and our children. So instead of devising ways of learning about real estate, how the system works, how you can actually start from a small piece of land, develop it, sell it, buy a bigger one, develop it, sell it, and so on, or get multiple small ones, and then develop those ones, and then work your way up to the capital. Now, people want to leave the standard. I mean, you want to have that car, you want to have that house. At the end of the day, you will have worked for 60 years, and soon the wealth status that you had becomes a burden, and you can't even feed your family when you're 50. You can't even pay for your health bills when you're 50. So the conversion of wealth is, or the different versions of wealth that are evident and abundant everywhere are not seen, because money has become money is seen as the only version of wealth there is. So instead of developing systems, our people, number one, are dependent on the government, and number two, well, the government has tried. It has actually sent people abroad. Many people are on scholarships abroad. But the problem is that what we also need is not just education from abroad, but education at home, that in as much as you may go abroad, in as much as you may study and get that paper, there are also other things, and you can also create jobs. We have unemployment rate is 50%, approximately 50%. So you can say that of everyone working, there is one person that is not working in the country. Of everyone that is, and the issue is that the jobs are there. No, the jobs are not there actually. But people are actually fighting for those jobs instead of creating new industries. We are still, Namibia is a young country. We are about 26 years old, I mean, with independence. And now, we still have the old South African industries that were there. New ones are developing, but slower, because people don't really see the value of developing new industries. They want to enter the old ones so that they can stay there. And also they want to keep the younger ones from coming in there, because, I mean, this is my only source of getting rich. And since I have worked so hard, I went abroad. It wasn't easy adapting in Ukraine. I studied, or I went to Russia, and the cold was unbearable. But now I'm back. And now I don't want to develop myself. I want to stay in this place, keep my job, and also, if I get a government position, educate my children and make sure they get.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Stephen. I'm a Nigerian. I see the problem in Nigeria is because there have been a paradigm shift in the belief of people in the society. I too grew up thinking that I grew up and I see rich people in society, and I grew up with the concept that.
Too late now.
I grew up.
It's not fair. They kept on standing and you kept on sitting.
I was waiting for the.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Because, you are sitting there and they were standing all that time. And you said, no, I was waiting for, yeah, but you were not waiting, you were sitting. They were waiting.
Like I said, like the society, people in people in society believe that you can only be rich. You can only get, you're wealthy when you're rich. And people, the youths, everyone grow up with this mentality. They see people that are rich. They chase after this riches. And this is because you will see like a person that he finished, maybe he's an engineer, he finished like with first class, even first class from the university.
Are you connecting that to the message?
Yes, sir. He finished with first class from the university. He doesn't see his education as a source of wealth. Instead, he see riches. He may see that, okay, the only way to get fast rich now is music industry or an industry that is developing. He leaves his first class in engineering, or in so many, like in engineering, he leaves his first class, and he chases after riches. and he goes to the music industry, and he ends up not even being very good in it, because he leaves his source of wealth and he chased after riches. And what causes that even our government is not encouraging, they're not encouraging creativity, they're not encouraging things that you need to get wealth. Instead, they're encouraging riches. You see people that are actually invited to the government house, or people that are actually celebrated in our community, and people that are rich. You don't see them giving awards to people that are creative. There are so many creative people in our country, so many things that have people that have done so many things, they are never celebrated. You see, even the people like Akikumi, the one that that did our flag, Nigerian flag. When they say the story of that man, how the man who had been forgotten, he's not celebrated. That people don't celebrate people with wealth in them, people with riches, people with wealth in them that are creative, that have skills, they have education. They don't celebrate them. Instead, they celebrate rich people. That's why people in the society, even youth that are growing up now, that's why everybody wants to do Yahoo, want to do just to get rich, because they don't see the wealth in them. They don't see education now as the wealth. They leave school and they go into businesses. They don't see education as a wealth. They don't see their skills as a wealth. Instead, they just want to follow the platform and just go into school, finish school, get a job, and start working. And if they finish working, that's why you see many old people in our country now. That's why after their pension, they just live up their pension. And when they live up their pension, they don't have anything. They don't have nothing again, because they follow that trend. And even the youths in our Nigeria, they are also following that trend. You just finish school, you just get a job, and that's all. So I think if our government can invest more on wealth of the nation, which is human resources, skills, and stop celebrating riches, I think people that are growing up will get that knowledge and start chasing after their wealth instead of their riches.
Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to give an example that is close to my mom, that's close to home, so I'm just going to use my mom. My mom used to be a director for land and redistribution back home, and
Back home, that's one country.
Zimbabwe. Yes.
Well, everybody would think it's Namibia. Because if it's not Nigeria, it's only Namibia, people are saying. So you are Zimbabwe.
Yes, I'm a Zimbabwean. So she had decided that she didn't want to work anymore, that she wanted to stop and do something else. So basically, while she was at home, she was now thinking, okay, the only thing that I have at this moment is the skills and the resources that I attained from the government and the connections of the people that I had in government. And that is what she used to build her own company, the relationships that she had in land and the people she had communicated with. And someone also came up and they spoke about how we're supposed to educate the younger generation and inform them that you don't have to wait for a salary. You can be your own salary when you actually invest in yourself and you discover. But that is very true. But you would never know unless someone comes and tells you that this is the way it is, this is the way you do it. The only reason now while they're waiting for a salary is because society has told them you have to be a doctor, you get money. You have to be a lawyer, you get money. But if actually someone comes to them and who has actually done something from nothing, they'll believe you. But I mean, if you have nothing and you say, okay, if you do this, this will work, they'll tell you it's a lie. I know people who are doctors and lawyers, those are the ones who have money. So what we actually need people who have done it, tried it, and tested it, and proved it. Yeah.
Second chance, you ready?
Okay, second chance. As we're talking, I think if we want to make all these postulates be effective in Nigeria, like Memory rightly said, we should start from the younger generation, meaning in our society and family and church and even media, we should not attach riches to certain professions. So if a child is growing up, the child should be schooled in the line of his talent or skill. And when that child grows up, so combining talent and gift plus well-trained plus education, then that child grows up to be a pro in that field. So we don't just go to university because that's the course I'm being offered. That's what university gave me. That's what I can afford. That's where I got my long leg. But it will become, that's my passion. So the focus is not to be able to be rich when I leave university, but it's to acquire knowledge to actually bring forth the wealth I'm born with. And then everyone becomes truly original and successful, because the wealth now comes within them and we all bring it into the society, into the country. So it's not like a skilled footballer is found in the field of medicine, or a skilled architect or a talented architect or artist is found practicing nursing. Then that would be a conflict. But everyone is actually operating in their own field of talent or gifting. And just what the university do is to make it blossom and bring it out in the full form that we can actually compete with any country in the world.
Brilliant. Now you are talking. Brilliant. Amazing.
Okay, I'll say money is not wealth. Yes, and Pastor said something about we elevating money above what it should be, so much that it's become like a god. Now, to just make it clear that money is not wealth, I know people who will, come to you and say, please, what can I invest in? What can I do with money? Maybe suddenly they did a job and they got certain sums of millions, and here they are, they have money, they don't know what to do with money. They don't have an idea of what to do to multiply money, So, and there are people who don't have much, who such people will come to, because they see that they understand, or rather maybe they have this, like they are connected to the source. They know how to make money out of nothing. So such people, they come, to such people to say, please, how can I use this money, no matter how much it is? Then you're wondering, you have 50 million naira and you don't have an idea, not an idea of what to do with that money. And if left with that money, the only thing that can happen to them is that it will be dwindling. They keep spending because they have no idea of what to do with money. So yes, money is not wealth. The source, being connected to the source. Okay, I learned something, and someone repeated it here, and which is the fact that the source. Now, normally when you talk of source, you are thinking God. That is when you say your source. When you are connected to your source, you just feel like when I'm connected to God, that's the source of wealth. But there's something someone phrased here that made it clearer. When the source is your passion, the source is something that is given to you by God inside of you, not something that is still with Him, but something that is within you already. So it means like if you begin to produce out of what you have inside of you, that's the source, and it can't dry. Because for as long as the gifts of God are without repentance, for as long as He's given it to you, and you're coming out of there, then it won't dry up. Yes.
So, how are you relating yesterday's teaching to Nigeria as in the country? How can that help Nigeria?
Yeah, basically it will be that Nigerians will have to, already the system is messed up. But if we want to go back to the roots and start, it will be to educate them differently. Because all Nigerians are trained to just go for school, get an education, get a certificate, which is the most important. Get the certificate and then get a job. But it's an illusion, because there are no jobs. So everyone is raised for 25 years for something that does not exist. So it's like, and everybody knows it. And you see men who don't have money, poor people, they struggle, they do everything just to send children to school and to graduate for something that has no future. So it's for us to start right from the beginning, so that we get this understanding, into children, that look, from now on, begin to look into yourself and see what it is, that what you're learning can help you to be, rather than what you can get a certificate for. That the moment you can, tap into, what is in life, how you can provide services, which is how we are trying to teach our children. The moment you can see a need and you can solve that need, that's what the world pays for. The moment you are a solution to something, somewhere, someone is ready to pay for it.
Thank you. Okay. Yes. Let me go back to my Facebook people. Thank you. Well, I would not say I'm very satisfied with your performances, but you are here to learn, so you will grow. The young shall grow. How to discover your latent wealth. That is the teaching of today. All of us has some degree of wealth that are latent in us, that are lying low in us. So I want to teach on how to help you discover them for every one of you that are here. So how to discover or unveil your latent energy. Number 1 point. This is going to be practical. So I'm telling you, I came here today to tell you that all of you are already wealthy. But more than that, that's what I spoke about yesterday. Today, however, I want to convince you, or I want to help you, not just to discover it through guesswork, but I want to help you with concrete questions that you need to ask yourself that will help you to bring out the wealth that is already in you. So, somebody's got to help Frank with the notes, because I think someone has got to give him all the notes. Because, yeah, okay. Because, you know, I have to give you the camera again. So for you to discover your latent energy and latent wealth, you need to constantly ask yourself questions. And one of the questions that will help you to discover that wealth that is already in you is this. Simple questions, very simple. The first one is, what are the things that I notice and pay attention to that others don't seem to pay attention to, or they don't notice? What are the things that I tend to notice, and it's like I'm the only one seeing it, and it's like other people are not seeing it? That is your potential wealth right there. That's your latent wealth. Now, before I go ahead, I want somebody to come out and tell me an example or two about that. Please, Mrs. Anastasia McDonald.
I'll use myself.
Yes, please.
A typical example for me is that I can be like this environment, and I've noticed that I have an ability to read the emotional climate in the room, or I can be talking to somebody, and all I'm picking up are the vibes. I don't do it. I don't consciously do it. I just do it automatically. So I could be talking to someone, and I'll just be reading the body language, and so the vibes will be coming to me. And because of that, I have discovered that people come and tell me stuff that they've never told anybody. In fact, it's a repetitive thing that comes to me. You know what? I've never told this to anybody. You're the first person I'm thinking.
Wait.
Sorry,
Before you go ahead,
okay.
I'm going to stop you, because I am thinking that even though you have identified that particular potential and wealth in you,
yes,
but I'm afraid that you are not converting it right.
I believe so.
And I'm afraid that that might not be putting money in your pocket. But so let me try to share with you an idea of how I think it could put money in your pocket. And for everybody also. This is how you don't just discover, you need to discover and convert. Yeah. So she has discovered some potential, just by asking the right question. She has discovered a wealth. Can you imagine that wealth? I know about that wealth because many people always come to me and say, Pastor, what do you think about me? What do you see in me? Where am I good? Or what are the qualities? What do you see in me that I don't believe in myself? I don't. So if I were you, I would go back to England, go on Google and ask, what are the most frequently asked questions people ask about themselves? Okay, or questions about low self-esteem, questions about self-discovery, questions about what do people think about me? Just those questions, write them. And then you will see a lot of things, a whole list of questions people ask about themselves. Pick each one of them, even the ones you already know. Like, you say you see things about people. So just write that. If you want to know more about yourself, I am an expert in giving this service. Call this number. They will call you and say, how much does it cost? £200 per hour. So you only need to have 10, but you have to do it with passion, like I told Pastor Ukiri yesterday. So, but you need to do it with passion. You need to put everything in it. So you don't just go and write, Google and get all the and then put it on your own Facebook, something and all. You have to throw it everywhere out there. You have to do the publicity. You have to put information everywhere. Your target is that everybody in Milton Keynes or in London, in England must hear about you. That there is somebody, there is a telephone number you can call and hear everything about you. Wow. That is how you put money back in your pocket. You don't need to be going to look for a job or to be going to do those kind of job you did to come here. No, you just need to use what in the world that's already in you. So, and the only thing you need to work on, if you don't know how to convert the particular world that is in you, write your own, another way to convert. Write your potential or your resource, whatever you can do, put it in Google and say, what can somebody do, or someone who has this skill, or somebody who has this ability, what can he do what do they do for a living, or what do they do to market themselves or to sell themselves? Go to YouTube, go to Google, and just ask questions like that. You will see many options of all that ways you could do. But why publicity is the most important thing you need to do, and marketing is that you have that potential, you have that quality, right? But everybody is looking at you. They are here looking at you. They know you. But they don't know that you've got what they need. They know you as Anastasia, but they don't know your product. So it is a crime for anybody to know you without knowing your product. A crime against your own self. A misjustice and an abuse of God's potential, resource, and wealth that He has given to you. So anybody who knows you must know what you offer. It's just like anybody who knows me now. There's nobody who knows me without knowing what I can offer. But what if anybody knows you and don't know your product, it means that you have been selling to people your look. But nobody is interested in that, because they are looking at all other people also. Or you have been selling to people. Most of the time we all sell to people not what product we have or service we render, but we only sell to people our names. My name is Anastasia McDonald. Okay. So when I see that counter, when I see that person, then I know that it's Anastasia McDonald. That's the only thing you sell to people. And everybody buys it. That you are just Anastasia. When I see this picture, this particular image, Anastasia McDonald, that's just the only thing they know about you. But that's not your content. That is what they call you, but that's not your content. So your content are your products, what you can offer. Because I need to know if you have something that I've been looking for. And while I'm looking for it in Australia, and looking for it in England, and looking for it in Germany, I didn't know it's right in Anastasia. And I'm desperate. I don't even know who to ask. You know, a lot of people in their homes right now are desperately looking for some answers, but they don't even know who to ask. But those answers are in people all around them that they call Anastasia, Sarah, Anna. But because they only know Sarah, Anna, John, Charles, but they don't know their products, everybody is suffering in silence. So, go ahead and describe in details this thing you are just trying to describe now. What you see yourself seeing that other people don't see. Put them in, write them down in a more quotable way, in short descriptions, phrases, short phrases that could be pasted. So you could say, I see in people what others don't see. Oh, that's the person I need. I can tell you what you might not know. Or I can confirm what you are thinking. Or I see your potentials. I see what you can do. You know, just phrases like that, short phrases. And then throw them everywhere with your telephone. Let them call you for consultation. So that way, you know, people know that I know where the product or the answer that I'm looking for is. I know where the answer that I'm looking for. I know who can help me. And that is how you convert your wealth into money. But the good thing with that is that you have discovered not riches, but you have discovered not money, or also you have discovered not money, but you have discovered wealth. And because you know that wealth is what is in you, the only thing is that you keep on studying in how to bring it out, how to express it better, how to market it better, but you know that you are attached to the source. And the source of that wealth is in you. You carry it around. The only thing now you need to do is to build a bridge between you and the people who need you, but they don't know, they already know you, but they don't know that you have what they need. But that is one category of people only. The people who already know you, but they don't know your product. You know, each one of us, we have more than one product. The way she's standing here, she could be having 10, 100. She needs to market aggressively all of them. So, but also, who do you market to? The first category of people that you have to market to are the people, like I just said, who know you already. But they only know your name as Anastasia McDonald. But they don't know what you carry, what are your products. So that is your first constituent. Those are the people that know you, your name, but they don't know what you market. But that is not your biggest constituent. That is the first, easiest, but it's not your biggest. Your biggest constituent are the people that don't even know Anastasia McDonald exists. But they are all in need of what Anastasia McDonald has. So to them, it is not Anastasia McDonald, it's not your name that you want to push to them or sell to them. You want to downplay your name and begin to push your product rather. Because there are just people out there who don't care what your name is, but they care what their needs are. And because they have needs, they just want to hear, does anybody understand this need? Does everybody ever deal with this? Pastor, please open that door also, because it's stuffy here. No, not that one. So you have there are three categories of relationships really. The first category of relationship are the people that who already know you, what you have, and your potentials. Then there are those people who know you only as your name, but they don't know your products and your resources. Then there are those who don't even know you exist, but they are in need of what you carry. So those are the three categories. But I really want to hear more about what you see. The first question I said you must answer yourself. How did I put it? What are the things that I notice that other people don't see? What are the things that I am seeing that other people don't see? Describe that more for us. Whatever you started talking about.
So I could be like this room. I could just be sitting down and okay. So number one, I'm a keen observer. I have an ability to. Okay, my quiet personality empowers me to.
Sorry, I'm going to also comment on that just to help you always convert. I'm always about conversion. Okay. If you say you are a keen observer, you could also do what? Write a letter about that. First of all, go and do research about observation and who are the people who need observance, or observation, the gift of observation, and industries, companies, and businesses. There are businesses that are paying so-called experts to just come and stay in their company or in their office the whole day or the whole week and observe. Yes. So that you will be able to point out and see with a fresh eye what they are not seeing and the things that you think they could improve. So you might need to go and study more about that so that you'll be able to sell yourself out even to companies as an observer, professional observer. That's what I do.
So, okay, I could be wrong. So what's your name again?
Frank.
So when I look at Frank, what comes to me is that you really love your mom very, very much, and that your mom has instilled very good values in you, and that she's raised you to be a very respectful, honorable person. That's what I'm picking up from you, and I see you to be a gentleman. Also, I see you. What I'm picking up from you is your mother is very close to your heart. That you have a very close bond with your mom. I was sharing it with Nikki this morning.
Okay, everybody line up. I'm her secretary.
Also, I'm picking up that you are gentle, you are tender, you are kind, you are loving. You're not like
But I would interrupt you. You continue. But what I want to say is that since we are talking business, we are talking how to create wealth creation, right? And we are talking how to convert wealth to riches. So the only thing, this is not prophecy. This is not prophetic class. So you are doing the same thing, but you are using your gift. So the reason I'm underlining that it's not prophecy is that people could say prophecy, you don't make money for it. So this one is service. This one is provision of service. This one is converting your wealth that God has given to you into money. That's why it is prohibited for you, apart from for Frank, it is prohibited for you to do it free of charge.
Thank you. As I was saying, I see you as somebody who is tender, gentle, and kind, and that you look like somebody that I don't know, children, that you look like somebody that will bring a lot of love, warmth, care in an environment where it's chaotic. Chaotic, so you will bring stability in that environment, and put smile on people's faces too.
So for students, for people in England, it's £200, but for students, at least £20. Let's have mercy on them. $20. So what I'm saying is that why I'm talking about money is not because we're after money. I'm just trying to teach you that you are already wealthy, that God sent everybody to this world wealthy, and that's why we're talking about all those qualities, 30 qualities yesterday that can create your wealth. That you just need to learn to see those your latent wealth and how to recognize them and convert them to riches. So this is just one example. But if we keep on talking about her now, it will not be fair to you. Maybe there is another person who also knows that he sees something that other people don't see, or he notices something, and you want you because if you come out, then you get the opportunity for me to comment on you and help you perfect. But if you are too timid, then you will never get exposed. You will never get revealed.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. I've noticed that.
That's the last one for this particular one.
I know how to make anyone feel special.
Yeah.
And I can do it. If anybody comes out, I can make you feel special. And you will. You will. If you want to try, fine. If Pastor allows it.
Let's have. Yeah.
Who wants to? Okay, she came out. You know, Zoe, what I admire about you is that you are confident. And how do I know? How do I know she's confident? What will make somebody carry a natural air on a live broadcast? And I also know that she is confident because sometimes people that are not of very great height find it difficult to stand and talk amidst people that are of much more taller height. And I know that you are confident because even when you are wrong, you admit it. So that's one of the ways. I could tell many other people, and I also found out. I'm still thinking, and I want to ask how I can greet the whole world.
Greet or
greet? I know how to greet.
Greet.
And interact.
Make example of that.
I can make you.
What do you mean greet? I don't understand.
I might not know you before.
Okay.
But my interaction with you make you feel very comfortable.
Can you do it? Anybody you've not talked to?
Okay, anyway, what have I not spoken with here before? I haven't spoken with you. Okay, patient.
Come.
Okay, can you come? Yeah.
You too.
Hello, Patience. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Give me a hug.
How do you know our name is Patience?
Oh, because I've been listening through HMT. I've not spoken with her before, but I observed. Wow. So I really don't have to ask your name before I know. Wow. I will hear it. So Patience, I've seen you. Oh, sorry, Precious rather. Precious. Gracious, precious. Gracious. Yeah, so gracious, precious, I really, I want to say that since we started, I really observed you, and you look like someone I would love to interact with more. Well, and, well, how have you been? How are you doing? I hope you're doing. How has HMT been for you?
Stressful.
stressful. I'm sure you can undo it. That's why you're here. Because if not, you'd have gone back home. Yeah, and I know that Pastor is rubbing off on you little by little. Because for you, normally you don't do this. You won't just come out of the crowd to, to just make yourself an example. You look like a very shy person initially, but just by me interacting with you now, I can see that Pastor has rubbed off on you and kicked off something within you. That's one of the things.
That is okay. That gift is one of the things that made Pastor Sunday who he is. And that gift can make you to build a church of 10,000 people, minimum. That's number one. Number two, that gift is a gift of a bridge builder. So it is an abuse of talent and a misuse of God's resource if you don't constantly look for a way to build bridges between you and the rest of the world. What am I saying? For example, if you have that gift, then the premier thing you must be working on is what is the new set of people, or what is the new group of people that I've not connected with yet? Where are they, and what are the mechanics or methods that I could use to connect with them? That means that's one. Number two, what are the existing technology that will make me or help me to expose my gifts? So to someone like you, Sam, it is either going to be laziness or religiosity or just lack of foresight that will not make you to make yourself what do you call them, a YouTube hero, a Facebook hero, and it's not explainable. There's no excuse for you not to be chatting and interacting with people on live broadcast like I'm doing. Not just teaching, but building audiences and connecting with people. So if you have that kind of gift, you want to be on Twitter sending words out and making people follow. Then you want to build, you want to use anything, TV, Skype, Facebook, live stream, YouTube, same with you. And then you want to be sending out messages and get the feedback from people and giving them words. And then you want to also go beyond that. So giving purpose, missions, directions to people that have gathered around you. So you want to use your gift to galvanize people, but also go a little bit ahead from there by giving them directions, focus, assignments, instructions, guidance. So that way you could actually be in your room alone and become a world leader to various groups and associations all over the world. It could be out of interest. You could ask yourself, who am I interested in touching or reaching? Am I interested in ladies? Am I interested in youth? Am I interested in students? Am I interested in medical students? Am I interested in unemployed youth? Am I interested in Nigerians? Am I interested in Africans? Am I interested in, and then use all these things that I've spoken about to propel yourself and make yourself into a celebrity. And a celebrity that from there, you are now using all that various connections and relationships to both sell and promote anything you want. And that way, you are turning that wealth into riches. Thank you, sir. She was waiting for you. Come back. Who you with? Okay. And what's your name again? Bukola.
You want me to make you feel special?
Bukola? Okay. Bukola, will you, next time, you know, I was ministering to him, and then we finished, we forgot about you a little bit. Never allow people to forget about you.
Wow.
Never allow yourself to be neglected, and never allow yourself to be forgotten. So even though we were caught up with doing something else, but since you had come out for this, you just say, no, speak out, call attention to yourself, you know, stand your ground, get what belongs to you. Never remain where life has put you.
And another hug. And another hug.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay, let's go. Can someone take a picture of us with Pastor Sonny? You are with one of the top 10, one of the 5% of the most influential people in the world. So you have a picture with Pastor Sonny Adelaja. So do you know how special you are?
Maybe will you tell me?
You are special because you can listen to him as a tutor to you. And also I've observed you are an analytical thinker, which is very rare to many people. I've not met you before. This is my first time of speaking with you directly. But I've listened to you, I've observed you. You have a way of breaking down issues into bits. You don't attack issues at once. And then each of them, you take one after the other and you solve the problem. And you have a way in which you can convince people with your voice and talk to them in a subtle manner that will make them believe you, even if they are not convinced at first. Yeah. And also, there's a way you carry yourself when you walk, in which some ladies do not do. Most ladies, sometimes they try to be too careful. Others are on the extreme, but you have a balance in walking. You walk with grace.
There is something about your voice. Do you sing or what?
Yeah, I sing.
You sing, eh? Maybe you need to develop that. And maybe there is something there for you. Maybe your voice could be bringing something special, a special presence, a special, not maybe professional-wise, but ministration-wise. I think that when you sing, that people are going to be ministered to in special ways. So when you sing, I think it is important for you to know that it is not song you are singing, but that you are passing some energy across. And that you are actually massaging people. That's what I say in the spirit. That you are massaging people through your voice. And that's not just when you speak. That's not just when you sing. Maybe when you talk too. So there is a vibration in the spirit connected with your voice. But I'm totally surprised that you are Nigerian. Talk less of the fact that you are Yoruba. Because I'm thinking that maybe you are from one of those Eastern or Southern African area. Maybe you are too friendly with them, I don't know. Or maybe you are not. Maybe you are just unique. Yes. And also, as we are talking right now, I just feel You have a fiancé?
Yes, sir.
Where is it?
He's in Nigeria.
He's in Nigeria. I just feel that your fiancé or fiancé is going to look at this thing. Either he's looking right now or he's going to look. Maybe because you are going to send it to him. Or because he's just going to, somebody is going to send it to him. But that's what I feel. Yes.
And also I can add to you, let me give you an idea. You can allow yourself to be trained and to become one of the hosts of Ask Pastor Sunday.
And maybe not just that, and in other TV programs and other TV opportunities. That's also what it's saying. But it's using Ask Pastor Sunday as an example. So if you want, what city do you live in? Kharkov. So if you can make that sacrifice, you know, about that, Ask Pastor Sunday place be free. But also, you know, there's such similar platforms. Yes, and another thing I think you should do with your voice and the way you talk, just confirming what he has said, is that since there is a vibration about you and your voice. So if I were you, what will I do with that? What is that telling me? That is telling me that I must find an outlet for that voice. So you must look for avenues and territories to use that voice in. It could be video. It could be Facebook. It could be YouTube. It could be clubs. And I think I see you holding discussions, small group discussions. Roundtable discussion, no, not roundtable, but like, yeah, roundtable discussions, small group discussions. So maybe you need to think about what your burdens are, and then go and invite and reach out, maybe to girls or women. Then come up with topics and be discussing those topics. You could be the host or the leader, and launch yourself out into something deeper. What are you out for? You are out to comment on that or to get something from someone? No. What are you here for?
Just comment on
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. You look like a senator of the federal Have you been to Above recently? But this thing might be coming from there. Yes. It could be.
In my area of profession, I work in the crisis intervention team, and people tend to gravitate towards me, and because
make the point first. First of all, mention the point that we're discussing.
Okay, because
no, that particular point. Can you repeat it first?
Okay, what are the things that I notice that other people don't see?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what you want to comment on?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, tell us what are the things that you notice that other people don't see.
Okay. I would like to turn it around. What
do other people notice?
What other people notice that they don't notice in other people?
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's why they tend to gravitate towards me out of my team members. And because I'm a good listener. And what I do is to save people who are suicidal. I see them every day, and I've been doing it for the past 4 years, and none has committed suicide. And
you see them because they tell you, or you see them before they tell you?
No, they come. It's either they were caught while they were attempting suicide, and my job is to prevent it. And when they come, I tend to find suitable answers for them that will change their mind. And
apart from that, even while I was growing up, I mean, from the age 15 to 20, I could see some, couples approaching me for solutions and for advice, and it has really worked. And when I was living in Nigeria, when I was 20 years old, 2 families attested to this. They were older people, and they came out and they said, "You saved our marriages." And that was when I was 20 years old. And everywhere I go, I tend to see that people gravitate towards me when I speak, and at times I don't speak, but when I speak, it becomes magnified. And yeah.
So people for the past 4 years that you have spoken to have desisted from committing suicide. But it's a very beautiful thing in your own case that you are able to find a profession under your gift. And that's the way that's what Ireti was trying to talk about, and Fisayo as well. That we should teach people to focus more on the abilities and the gifts and the wealth and the potential that they have, so that when they now go to universities, they will be going to study on how to actually use that. So education is actually to give them a platform, or to simply expand what they already are doing, what they already recognize in themselves. So this particular gift was already in him before he went to study nursing, that will give him a platform to be able to actually save lives. But with people like you, sir, Kenny, Mr. Kenny, the problem that someone like you will have is that, and that's the problem of our society at large, is that you tend, especially since you now have a profession that allows you to do this, most people tend to just do that thing at work. So for example, I'm not sure that you have a platform or a page on the social media, on Facebook, just a page to advertise that I save people from suicide. I can help. I don't think you have a platform like that, even though you are very successful in it. Or you could, or a page that says, in the last 4 years, I've saved no one. I've had consultation. I've consulted X amount of number of people, 20 or 50 people, and not everybody has changed their mind about committing suicide. Do you know anybody who is in need of that? Let them contact me. That will be your service, not your profession now, but your service to the community and to the world and to humanity. And that will be your platform, that the whole world could now be calling you. You will be having calls from Japan. You'll be having calls from Singapore. You'll be having calls from South Africa. You'll be having calls from Brazil. You'll be having calls from all over the world, just because people have now discovered that there is somebody out there who gives personal consultation anonymously and privately and helps people to get rid of something. If you want, you could make that into payment service and make extra money on what you already making at your job. But that is just one thing. Then it could also be video. Then it could also be, just even, maybe not even video, maybe just even without your picture. But, any way, you could just look for ways and mediums media to use to actually, promote and announce yourself, and make, just like I was telling Anastasia, and make those people who have never heard of your name before, especially those people who don't even know that there is someone out there with an answer for them. Because every day in this world, there are people drinking because they want to die. Or there are people swallowing tablets because they want to die. But there are people attempting suicide or contemplating suicide on a daily basis. No. And you are there. You are supposed to make them know there is an answer for them. And that is also a wealth that must be converted both to riches. But riches, not just financial riches, but to a large extent, riches in honor and, yes, and fulfillment.
Good morning once again. I have noticed that
Sorry, go again?
I've noticed that I can raise fund, or I can sell things for other people or to other people and make extra cash on it, but I'm reluctant in doing it because people think that I'm too selfish. You know, for example, we had my sister over there. She has EMSA. It's like an organization for students. So, but then in the organization itself, they don't have money. So they need to raise funds to have money so that they can be doing their programs and stuff. So for the HIV, for Breast Cancer Day, they decided that they are going to give out pamphlets and people to be aware about breast cancer and stuff. So I'm like, so what are you going to do that day? This is like, no, we're just going there and then maybe give people tea and cookies and stuff. I'm like, why would you give them cookies for free? Or something. Why can't you make the cookies and the brush and the things, and then as people are coming to listen for the information, maybe they can donate.
Sure the thing is passionate enough. I don't think that voice is strong enough. So either you have to move closer to her. Yeah.
They can maybe, okay, let's say we can give them cookies in a form of donation. They can donate to the organization so you can do more projects. So we ended up doing this. They made the cookies, the pies, the sweets, the coffee. So what I decided that, okay, we are going to sell the cookies for 5 hryvnia. But then I started saying that, okay, they were busy doing the outreach on breast cancer, but I was in the section of the selling of the cookies. So when they come there, I'm like, listen, my brother, this is breast cancer. I would convince them to buy the cookies, not for 5 hryvnia, but for 20 and 50. You know, in that way, we raised a fund for the organization. You know, I don't know if I've noticed I've been doing it for some time. My brother here has books, croc books, for what? 6 croc. We write exam at the end of the year in 6 course. So there's a book that...
Are you in 6 course already?
Yes.
You and him?
He's in 4.
You are in 6.
Yes.
So I'm not going to see you next year again. Unless you move with us to Nigeria.
He actually said we should take an opportunity to see because it might be the last time.
Yeah.
Then I said, where will he go? Then he's like, he might not be here. I'm like, I'll go wherever he goes. And he's going to be the train. So he's like, okay.
Have you registered for the African project?
No.
For the Nigerian project?
No.
Oh my, you know, all of you who are interested in being like going everywhere I go, you might want to register to be part of the Nigerian movement. Maybe I should do, where is Eagle? There's no Eagle. Okay. Where is Babush? Nobody is there. Okay. I think I will have to do a presentation about the Nigerian project. So yeah, I think we should do a presentation about Nigeria. Is that tomorrow? Yes. Tomorrow is the final day, right?
Yes, sir.
I think, because anyway, the way to register for the Nigerian project is just to go to my blog, SundayAdelajablog.com. There is a form, you see /Nigeria. There is a form there on the Nigerian section, and you just go and fill it up. So that when we are going to Nigeria, if you want to go to Nigeria, then you say, we want to be in your team to Nigeria. So that when it's time to go, we'll be able to get you. We'll be able to invite you and get you. But if it is a project that you have, you need to write that project down. If it's something that you want to contribute to Africa or to Nigeria, you have to write that down as well. So just go to that blog and fill the form out. And tomorrow morning is the last time I'm speaking, right? Yes. So I think I should do a presentation of Nigerian transformation project. There is a video. We just played the video. But we have to talk how to do this technically so that the people on Facebook also could see. So you have to talk that with Igor.
Susan, I want to ask, can I make a career out of this? It's like I'm an intermediate. I can come to you and take what you have and go to the next person and sell it.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's not just brilliant, I think it's gorgeous. I think it's one of the most needful gifts for that everybody almost is looking for. I think it's a need that one in every two people are in need of. So what I would advise you to do is this, to not just make it a career, but to make it a life goal, life passion. And what you will need to do is to study how to package it. You need to study and look at how to present yourself, how to package that idea. But you need to promote yourself just the way you have said now, that I'm a fundraiser. I help you raise money for your project, for your business, or for your product. I, write it in different ways and different forms. But the condition must be you are taking 15% out of how money you raise, or 20%. I don't know. You have to study how it is done. Huh? You want to clap? But also, like I told Pastor Nkiru yesterday, the most important thing is you need to use all your energy to promote it, to advertise it, and to let everyone know that you have that ability. You need to inform everybody, advertise it. For example, if you are still in Ukraine and you want to do that in Ukraine, it means that you have to put that advert and publicity to not all the students in your city have to hear about it, and also all the students in Ukraine altogether have to hear about it. So that is to the extent of what publicity is. Just like I told McDonald that everybody in England and in a city have to hear. Whatever you are doing, every human being in that territory and beyond have to know what you are doing. That is the key to success. You've got to push yourself. So, brilliant, good idea. And I think, the faster you do it, everybody here, some of them need that service right now. Yes. For example, somebody spoke yesterday about... I need the service. Yes. And somebody spoke yesterday about doing African food or something. Then they mentioned some rolls, egg rolls or something. But for me, when I was growing up in Africa, right now, I cannot eat African food as well. But I want to begin to learn because I'm on my way to Africa. So I want to begin to learn, but to eat African food again. But the one that I never had problem with when I eat it, even when up to now, when I went to Nigeria, if I eat that, I don't go run to toilet. I don't have problem. Is that egg something? But it's not it's the Scotch egg one. It's not the other one. The roll. I don't know the roll. I'm not here. Yeah, I need to see. Yeah. Anyway, so I was just telling my wife. I was just telling my wife because there was somebody who gave her some of those eggs, and she brought them to the house, and with the kids were eating it. And I was telling her that, Princess, this is what I like to eat. And we don't even know how to. She does say, we only eat Ukrainian food now. So, and she said maybe I will try to find a way of doing it or something. We don't even know that there are people, So that kind of thing you could connect. If maybe I will buy. I'm a potential clients, but I don't even know who to buy, who does them, who, you know, things like that. So, you know, I think in everything, even with my books, there are people all over Ukraine and all over the place that, you know, that might be an idea, you know, and why not? And with my books, I don't even get money back. I never take $1 from any of my books. I don't even, anybody who says them take the money. That's the way it is. I'm not in it for the money. I'm just interested that it's distributed. So those are some of the things, you know, a lot of things are out there, a lot of needs are out there. So, and you could have a hall of 200 people, even 2,000 people, and you will never, everybody will come out and tell them about their giftings, that what they can do, and they do good in different things. And out of 2,000 people, you will not see a single person who will say, I am good in fundraising. You could have 2,000 people there, and not one will come out to say, my own area is to raise funds. So what I'm saying is that it's unique, and it's rare. So if 2,000 people will be there, everybody needs money, and nobody is specializing in it, can you then imagine what will happen when you are the only one who specializes in it? All of them will be your clients. So go for it, girl.
What I'm going to say, I don't know whether it's business-wise, but it's something that I've just noticed.
But you have to start with that point.
Yeah, it's the question.
Yeah, but you have to repeat it for the people to...
Okay. What are the things I noticed and other people don't see? Okay, I have noticed that I'm the kind of person that people don't invite to things like parties. But when people have serious issues, dark, red secrets, I'm the type of the person they come to. Now what I came here is to ask, I don't see really, to be honest, I don't know what's in me that people don't invite me to parties, but yet they come to me when they really, it doesn't matter what kind of age, what kind of situation, marriages, others, anything. Uncles, big aunties, sometimes I'm even just afraid to talk to the person will just come, I want to talk to you, there is this.
Okay. I think that, thank God that you have noticed that ability in yourself. I think it is also a wealth and a resource. And the way there is a need for it, because I would call it like this. I would say anonymous services. Is it anonymous, you said? Anonymous services. If I were you, I would just present myself and sell myself to the outside world as anonymous services. That is that I provide services that are private, that are anonymous, that you could come and share with me all things that you cannot share with other people. You could come to me and get consultation for matters that you don't want to discuss with other people. Or you could come to me and just speak out your mind and be sure that it's not going to get out. No, the next one, you could come to me to discuss something that you cannot discuss with anybody else. Secrets that you don't want, that you cannot carry any longer. Burdens that are private and they are killing you, but also you cannot talk to people about. So, exclusive services, VIP services. And I think it's a service of trust, it's a service of confidence, and it's a service of, let me tell you this, in our church, we have a lot of prostitutes, former prostitutes. some of the things I learned from these prostitutes, you know, have taught me that never look down at people. Because the society, the way they look at prostitutes as if they are the outcasts that are not good for anything. And that they are the scum of the society, and that almost nothing good in them. But what I have discovered is that we all have a lot to learn from them. I did. And I like to listen to them. Let me just share with you one of the lessons that I learned from the prostitute in our church. And this is in relation to your observation. The prostitute said that a sizable percentage of all their clients that come to them don't sleep with them, but they pay.
Yeah.
They pay the money for sleeping, but they come and they will not sleep. So the girl is ready to give her service, to give her sexual service, because that's what she thought she was rendering. But the man will say, I don't need sex, I just need you to listen. So the prostitute will end up sitting down there all night. And listening to how big men, not just big physically, but big in the society, wealthy men, are just pouring out their hearts. And they said there are no other places for them to pour out their hearts and emotions because they are strong men. They are viewed as too strong, too good, too powerful, too invincible, and yeah. And they pay them extra if they listen to them very well and go. Sizable amount. So what I'm saying is that there are needs out there for people to be heard out, to be listened to. So that thing you are saying right now, that they don't invite you to parties, it's one of the greatest blessings you could ever imagine. Because it's a service in confidence. And those some of them could be general for free, but the exclusive something, they have to be chargeable as well. And that's converting wealth into riches also.
Okay, sir. What are the things I noticed and others don't see? I have noticed that, in a way, I'm a joy giver. Why do I say it? I've unconsciously actually noticed it. There was particular.
What state are you from, Nigeria?
Ogun State, sir.
Because you are looking like my relative. Yeah, because there is what do you call it? There is a relational, huh? Yeah, there is there is a relative thing there, relational thing that I'm seeing. She's looking exactly like some of my relatives. Wow. So which means either by blood we are related, or by food, by climate, by environment. You know, because if people who live in the same, grew up feeding on the same kind of something, they develop the same similar something. For example, there was I'm sorry, I'll come back to it. There was a tragedy that happened in England when a 9-year-old girl was brought to England to work as a maid. And then she behaved badly with the host. And I think she was 16 or 14 when she was killed. Maybe they beat her and she died, maybe by accident. So the host who brought her to England, because in England you have to answer for those kind of things. So they had to get rid of the cops so that the people would not know. And went and threw her in the Thames, is it? River Thames. Is it? Yes. So, and it was like 2 or 3 years or 4 years later, I don't remember, maybe 5 years later, it was totally decomposed body that they found. Totally decomposed. So, no face again, no body, just bones. And, but in England, they have forensic, or what they call it? Forensic services. So, these forensic services allow them to just take the bones to the sample to the laboratory and do the forensic on it. You know what they use to discover who she is? DNA, but they just use DNA first of all to discover that she's 14 years old, and that through all the DNA and the things, and they discovered that she's from Africa. Then they did more further research and forensic and discover the kind of food that formed the bones. Because the food we eat is what forms our body. So they broke it down to discover the food contents and components that form the body, the bones. So after they broke the food down to the food, they discovered that food, that particular sort of yam, is not grown in East Nigeria. It's not grown in North Nigeria or Central Nigeria. It's grown in West Africa. And then they traced it to the geographical city of Oshobo. Amazing, eh? So you are a product of your land. You are a product of your land. And that's why your land heals you. For example, I've been here for 8 years. I've not been able to travel because of my lawsuit. But one of the greatest things I am missing is to be in Africa. Not just Africa. I want to be my native land. I need to step in Nigeria. I know that when I step in Nigeria, I need to feel the sun. There is a communication that is going on that is not with men. There is a communication that is going on with nature. There is a communication, because the Bible said that the land cries. The land can speak. Because when Cain killed Abel, because it was recorded that the blood that was spilled on that land spoke, and God heard. And then that blood polluted the land. The land could receive message. So the land recorded crime. So whatsoever is happening upon the land is recorded. So when the practices upon the land are good, the land prospers. Also, it said, "Cursed is the land for thy sake, because evil was committed upon that land." So when evil is committed upon the land, the Bible says in another place that therefore the land spews out the dwellers of it, therefore. Because of the crimes. And also he said the land of Egypt recorded the sufferings of the children of Israel, and that their cry came up to God. In the land, what was happening in the land of Israel was coming up to God. So there's a connection between land and what people eat, what people that that connect us. It connects all of us. So that's what will make a Nigerian to feel himself more at home with another Nigerian than with a Zimbabwean. And that is what will make another Nigerian and a Nigerian to feel more at home with a Zimbabwean than with an American. We are connected. There's a similar communication, a similar wave, a similar message that is being communicated to us. So, if you are from Ogun State, I know I've asked you before, but if you are from Ogun State, are you not from Ijebu area? Shagamu, that's Ijebu, right? Shagamu people are Ijebu people. Okay. So I'm Ijebu as well. You see? We are the same people. I could see myself in her. I could see myself in her. Yes. I don't even need to talk. I could just say, amazing, Ijebu. Who said it's from Ijebu too? You are from Ijebu too?
She wants to be.
I'm from Adelkuta.
Yes, Ogun State too. Yeah. Actually. She is Ijebu, right? Are you Ijebu?
My mom is. So.
Ah! So you are disassociating yourself with your mom, right?
Okay,
My mom is. I'm sorry, please go ahead.
Okay, occasionally, unconsciously actually, I've noticed there was a particular time, one very, very funny experience. I have a friend that she's just never in a good mood. Like, she's always, like she said, I quote, I'm not a morning person. I don't know if, like, the person is not always just smiling in the morning, like, you come to class, I see you outside, and yes, I confronted her. I'm like, fine now, what's up? Now you're always funny, vex and all. But as time went on, I noticed that when I just see her, she just starts smiling. And I noticed that when I just want to approach her, because before I can't even approach her, because by that time I couldn't actually just go and meet her because her facial expression just like, okay, sister, I cannot. But as time went on, I was more accessible to her, and it was so funny how she just come and I'm like, you know, can you imagine what like it was more like a friendly kind of conversation now, and I'm like, oh wow, that's really very, very nice. And another thing I also noticed was that yes, I could actually I have another friend that I don't know, she always just thinks we are in a group, yeah, and we're talking about something, and you know how Nigerians could be, they'll be like, oh, you don't know this thing. As in, they make you feel you know nothing. And yeah, and every time she would just drag me out and from the group and tell me, oh, Tammy, come, please, can you just explain this thing further? Because she knows that I will not judge her in a way, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's actually very, very good. And there's so many like it's that things have actually happened, and I'm like, wow, I'm a joy giver. Yeah.
Well, the way to use that is, what to do with that is to turn that to a platform. You need to learn to turn that to a platform And just like people turn joking into a business and joking into entertainment. So a joy giver also could do something similar. To turn it into a platform through which you build relationship, build commerce, build enterprise, build teams, build a vision, build, goals, aspirations, and you could actually use that joy to be a galvanizing force and power to achieve any goal and purpose that you put before yourself. So powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Good job. Because people gather around people like that easily. But I've only given you 1 point, so let me quickly go.